Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to be presenting about a topic called Planck's quantum theory. My name is Zara.
I'm Jyoti.
I'm Joshika.
I'm Akshay. And I'm Safura.
So yeah, we're going to start with the presentation. So I'm going to talk about the Planck's quantum theory. So Max Planck was the person who discovered the Planck quantum theory. So in the 1900s, Planck proposed that energy is emitted and absorbed in small packets called a quantum. So basically, the quantum theory states that energy is absorbed and emitted not continuously but discontinuously in tiny discrete particles called a quantum. So for example, if you take, you start charging your phone, the energy doesn't flow continuously, it flows in small packs called quantum. And this is exactly what Planck stated. Okay, so just like Akshay explained, let's try to understand the topic on a deeper basis. As we know, energy can exist in two forms, either in the form of waves or in the form of particles. If it exists in the form of waves, it is in a continuous form. If it exists in the form of particles, it is in a discontinuous form. So back in the day, other scientists used to claim that energy only existed in continuous form. But during the 1900s, Max Planck was completely against that idea. He stated that energy only exists in discontinuous form. You probably don't understand it, so let me take an example. Let's take sunlight as an example, as our source of energy. When we look at sunlight and the energy that it is giving us, when we look at the light that is being reflected on us, it looks like it exists as rays of sunlight. But actually in real life, it also exists as particles, and those particles are known as quantum. Plural is quanta, singular is quantas, plural is quanta. If it is light energy, just like our example, it is known as photons.
So yeah, you guys may not have understood what a quanta is. To make it easier for you to understand, let's take an easier example. We all know about digital pictures. We all know that in a digital picture there are many pixels, like small square boxes. Yeah. So these pixels always have a definite shape and size. The number of pixels may change in based on the size of the image, but the size of the pixels never change in an image. Same as the pixels, quanta in any source of energy have always same size, energy, wavelength. This is what a quanta is.
So now we have all we know about the Planck's theory and whatever they have told us. Now let me prove it to you mathematically and derive what exactly it is. So we all know that the energy of one quanta is directly proportional to the frequency of radiation. So which actually means E proportional to mu. So now as we have the proportionality, we change it into a constant. Here the constant is actually h, which is called the Planck's constant. The constant's value is 6.62 into 10 power minus 34. So we know that E is equals to h mu. And now we know the speed of light, which is c. C is actually equal to mu into lambda. So now mu is actually equal to c by lambda. Now, to derive the total formula, we can use that E equals to n, which is the total number of photons present in a body, n into h, the Planck's constant, and into c, the speed of light by lambda. Now, if you want to derive the energy of one quanta, you use the formula E, which is equals to hc by lambda.
Okay, so now that we've derived the formula out of this topic and we've looked at the definition and understood the theory, let's now solve the numerical.
So you guys can give us a wavelength because everything is constant except the wavelength.
Yeah,
It's better if you guys give us a wavelength in Armstrong, because if you give us it in meters, the calculation is obviously going to be really complex. Okay. Okay, so now that we've solved the numerical, we often think that topics like these are stuff that we only study in books and study for exams, and like they have no use in our real lives. But actually, Planck's quantum theory has tons of applications. So now Sakura is going to be explaining to you guys the applications.
So, till now we saw the numerical and the theory of the Planck's quantum theory. We think that it is not that important, but actually it is useful, and there are 5 applications of the Planck's quantum theory. The first one is the photoelectric effect, then it is the Bohr's atomic model, then black body radiation, then the spectroscopy, and then laser and photonics.